Alex Eala's historic day is dampened in Doha. Earlier today, Alexandra Eala became the first woman from the Philippines to break into the top 40 in WTA rankings history. Thanks to her quarterfinals of Abu Dhabi, Eala rose from WTA world number 45 to number 40 on Monday morning. However, it took just a few hours for Eala's bright day to dampen. Teresa Valentova defeated Eala in straight sets during the first-round match at the Qatar TotalEnergies Open, Doha Masters 1007 to 6, 6, 6 to 1. Valentova, another women's tennis prodigy from the Czech Republic, is a whole 2 years younger than Eala. The 18-year-old recently fell from number 44 to number 48 and was eager to get back in her first match since a third-round exit to eventual champion Elena Rybakina at the Australian Open. Meanwhile, Eala is on her third tournament since Melbourne. She played Adelaide and Brisbane before. Many tennis fans on social media commented on her fitness during the second set, but it was clear that Eala's busy schedule caught up with her. After her disappointing first-round loss in the Australian Open, Eala followed it up with quarterfinals runs in the singles draw at the Philippine Women's Open and Abu Dhabi Open. In addition to fatigue, Eala's serve was a problem in today's loss. She had 0 aces and 3 double faults, scoring points on 57% and 46% of her first 2 serves. Valentova broke Eala in 4-7 opportunities. Meanwhile, Valentova tallied 4 aces and 3 double faults. She scored points on 75% and 44% of her first 2 serves. Eala broke Valentova in just 2/5 opportunities. Eala falls to 7-5 on the season, while Valentova improves to 6-3 on the season. Valentova will have her work cut out for her as she will face fellow Czech and 14-seed Karolina Muchova in the second round. The winner will likely face the third-seeded Amanda Anisimova in the round of 16. The 2026 Qatar TotalEnergies Open runs through Saturday, February 14th. Stay locked into Sports Illustrated Serve on SI for all of your tennis news from the court and beyond. Alex Eala, triumph and turmoil on a historic day in Doha. The sun rose over the gleaming courts of the Qatar TotalEnergies Open in Doha with a quiet promise, a day that would mark a milestone in Philippine sports history. At 20 years old, Alexandra Alex Eala woke that morning as a record breaker, her name etched into the corridors of the Women's Tennis Association, WTA, rankings. For the first time in history, a Filipina tennis player had cracked the coveted top 40 in the world, a feat no woman from her nation had ever accomplished. In the small hours of that Monday, with thousands following the official WTA rankings update, Eala saw the numbers shift beneath her name, her season's efforts, her relentless climb through tournaments, and the massive weight of Filipino expectations had materialized into a moment of pure validation. She became WTA world number 40, rising from number 45 after a quarterfinal performance in Abu Dhabi. It was a moment of shimmering pride, the kind that causes families in Manila and beyond to erupt in celebration, that earns headlines and hashtags, that makes young athletes believe their dreams might just be possible. A morning of triumph. The energy around Alex that day, both on social media and among fans, was palpable. Messages poured in, congratulating her for a breakthrough that meant more than just a number next to her name. It represented barriers broken, limits extended, history written. As a representative of a nation still building its tennis legacy, Alex had become more than a player, she was a symbol of possibility. People spoke of the journey that brought her here. From her training at international academies to upsets and breakthrough runs at events like the Miami Open, where she stunned former major champions, Eala's narrative had always been one of rising against odds. In 2025, she had already turned heads with deep runs in tournaments and a string of historic accomplishments, including being the first Filipina to beat top 30 and top 10 opponents in a WTA event. This was the context in which the day in Doha began, a moment poised between past achievements and future possibility, an ambitious young athlete standing at the brink of something extraordinary. From pinnacle to pitch, the Doha match. And yet, sport is a strange alchemy, one where euphoria and disappointment can coexist within hours, sometimes within minutes. As spectators settled into their seats and cameras focused on the court, Eala stepped onto the hard surface to face Teresa Valentova, a rising Czech player known for her tenacity and precision. What followed was a match that would soon humble expectations and challenge emotional resilience. The encounter was a close first set, a grueling hour of long rallies, tactical plays, and moments where Eala showed flashes of brilliance. She battled through to a tiebreak, saving multiple set points and clawing her way to 6-6, pushing Valentova into a high-stakes showdown of nerves and skill. But in the end, the Czech player edged ahead, stealing the first set and leaving Eala to drink from the bitter cup of narrowly lost opportunities. That hard-fought first set seemed to take not just points but something deeper from Alex. In the second, her energy visibly waned. Legs that had carried her through long battles in prior tournaments looked heavy. Her serve, a perennial weapon, rattled with 3 double faults and no aces. Valentova imposed her rhythm and took advantage, racing ahead with a decisive 6-1 set to close the match. It was a straight sets loss, 7-6, 6, 6-1, and it ended Eala's run in Doha almost as shortly as it had begun. The weight of competing aspirations. For many, the result was a shocking twist. How could a historic day end in such abrupt defeat? But sport is more than a highlight reel of wins. It is the raw interplay between physical capacity, mental fortitude, preparation, and circumstance. Across social media and fan commentary, many observed that Eala's busy schedule, 3 tournaments within weeks, likely took a toll. From the Australian Open to Adelaide, Brisbane, and then on to Doha, the relentlessness of top-level tennis can wear even the fittest athletes down. Some critics pointed to her service statistics, a key indicator of form, while others focused on the narrative of fatigue. But for those who have followed her deeply, both the setbacks and achievements reveal something much richer about Alex. Her refusal to shy away from challenge, her courage to compete at the highest levels even when the odds feel stacked. It is worth remembering that the rise into the top 40 is not a guarantee of smooth sailing. It is recognition of consistent excellence over time, yes, but it also ushers athletes into a realm where the margins are thinner, the opponents sharper, and every match carries higher stakes. In pulling Egypt's Valentova into a demanding tiebreak and extending points until her legs quivered with effort, Alex was not overpowered by luck, she was competing with everything she could muster in that moment. More than one match. In the immediate aftermath of defeats like this, narratives often veer into polarity, triumph versus tragedy, success versus failure. But anyone acquainted with sports over time knows that every setback is also a seed, if approached with reflection, humility, resolve, and hard work. Alex's loss in Doha does not erase her historic ranking. It does not.